What's going on, fellow A+ers? It's your boy Adam Perez. I'm back once again with a brand new video today, as we have got to talk about the brand new Superman behind the scenes featurette that we wind up getting earlier on today. It is, in fact, Superman Day. Certainly a reason to celebrate the Man of Steel, to certainly say the least, as we got ourselves a brand new look behind the scenes of the making of Superman with some more insight, not only from James Gunn, but Peter Safran and some of the cast and crew that wind up putting this movie together. We also wind up getting to see brand new images, brand new footage, if you will, as to seeing how everything really comes together for the making of this movie. I thought this was perfect for Superman Day. I personally would have preferred a trailer myself, but I gotta say, I am enjoying the marketing that they have put out for this film so far. I've definitely have questioned it certainly along the way, hoping that we get ourselves another trailer, but the little bits of information that we get here or there, the little things that they do reveal to us, has really held me over and has made things a little bit more insightful in regards to what we're going to get in this movie without really giving a lot of the movie away. And I think going into July, I kind of hope they keep it that way. I have a feeling we may get like one other big trailer to maybe give us some story details a little bit, but for the most part, I kind of like going in a little bit blind, with the exception of just that inner fan of me that's just like, I need more. I need more. But when they do drop something like this behind the scenes featurette, I'm just thinking to myself, like, yeah, this is everything that I need certainly right now. And I still find my levels of anticipation continuing to grow for this movie, despite only having a teaser trailer and some behind the scenes stuff. So it's definitely working for me. I'm kind of curious if it's working for you guys though. But I wanted to go ahead and talk about the behind the scenes stuff that we wind up seeing here and just some of the things that kind of came to mind a little bit that I certainly want to talk about. One of the things that really stands out to me, and I think they made it an important notice here, is to have James Gunn talk about the idea of finding the story that he wanted to tell, right? Like, this doesn't feel like them forcing a Superman movie onto us or onto James Gunn, in the sense of, we just need to make a Superman movie and begin this universe sort of thing. Even though that they have in offered Superman to James Gunn in the past and he wind up picking Suicide Squad instead, I love the fact that he says he came back to Superman because he found a way inside. He found something that literally clicked. And when people say that type of stuff to me, the one thing that comes to mind is they have a story to tell. There's a message that they certainly want to get across, not just for an easy catch grab sake, right? I don't think James Gunn returns to Superman if he really doesn't have a message or anything to certainly say. I think the idea of taking on Superman is a lot of pressure onto itself, and the idea that I don't think James Gunn wants any added pressure of not having anything to say, but yet still being forced to make a Superman movie. So I think one of the takeaways for me out of this was that James Gunn found something that clicked for him, and he knew immediately he had to make a Superman movie because he had something to say. And I'm eager to find out exactly what that message is when it comes to being released in July. If there's anything that I will say, a couple things that I hear throughout this behind the scenes: hope, kindness, and heart, or also the term heartfelt. And I think if you've seen any of James Gunn's projects, there is sort of that underlining aspect of heart through all of them. I mean, you even look at something like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which is almost like something that I watch every Christmas now, ever since it's come out. But it has that level of heart to where I legit get choked up when I watch the holiday special. Is that meaningful to me? But he definitely has a way of having a great balance of action, humor, story, and heart. And if he can kind of keep that balance for a Superman movie, we might be in store for something really, really enjoyable here. I also really enjoyed seeing David Sweat once again as Superman. The suit continues to grow on me more and more. it continues to look less baggy every time that I see it. He seems to certainly fill it out extremely well. There's a great video shot of him like holding something up, and you can see his biceps kind of pressing through his costume a little bit, sort of thing. So not too tight, not too loose. It feels really just right to me. And just from the emblem itself, just continues to pop. I'm continuing to love the collar cut on him, the way that the cape hangs onto his shoulders or clips onto his shoulders. That big bright yellow S symbol on the back of his cape, the way that it flows as he comes into the camera shots and things like that. I mean, the costume looks great. And all his facial expressions and things like that. I do think David Cornsweet is going to be an incredible Superman and Clark Kent in here. And I cannot wait to see what type of movie magic they wind up making together. And that's one of the things as to why I love these behind the scenes stuff. You get to see the stunts at play, whether that be Hawkgirl tackling somebody through a pane of glass, somebody jumping onto the side of some sort of vehicle, whatever the case may be, explosions certainly happening, wire work and stuff. It's always really cool to kind of see how the stuff that they film eventually will make it onto the big screen with all the special effects and whatnot. And so I always love seeing things like that kind of come together in these featurettes. A lot of the characters I think got showcased in here too. Just really quick images, but glimpses into this world that really, really excites me. Hawkgirl, getting to see Isabel Merced certainly portray this role. I get more and more excited the more that I see of Isabella just on television or in movies. I literally just saw her this past weekend on the season 2 premiere of The Last of Us. She's become like a fan favorite character of mine, and an actress that I continue to be pleased with whenever I see her. So I think James Gunn probably got the right person for Hawkgirl. She looks great in the costume. I hope the costume does get a more comic accurate by the end of the movie itself. But I'm really excited to see what she's going to bring as far as her dynamic and personality traits and vision for her character, how she bounces off of characters like a Metamorpho or even a Guy Gardner or Superman himself in here. Speaking of Metamorpho, I'm so glad that we got ourselves another shot. I think if there's one character in this whole movie I am most fascinated with, it's Metamorpho, because we've never gotten him in any form of live action before. And so I've always been curious, how are they going to do him? Is he going to be completely CGI? Is he going to be motion capture? They actually have a practical suit, and the practical suit alone looks really, really good. I'm pretty sure that's going to be enhanced with other things. It's probably going to be a trio of CGI, motion capture, and an actual physical suit. But the fact that we have a physical suit and got to see it in all its glory in this behind the scenes, mwah, chef's kiss, man. Like, I am so excited for Anthony Carrigan to see how he brings this character to life. But to kind of get a better visual was really stunning to me in here. I also love seeing a little bit of Lois Lane in here. There's some really great quick shots of them at the Daily Planet, kind of seeing like the bustling quickness of the newsroom. Perry White kind of coming into frame as they're all walking down the corridor or the office room together and things like that. It just feels very fast paced, as you would expect sort of a newsroom to kind of be. So I am fascinated to kind of see what the Daily Planet sort of lifestyle is going to be like. But we got to see that a little bit. And Lex Luthor, I mean, we got to see what some people are talking about, the idea that in this behind the scenes, we got a brief glimpse of sort of the Lex battle suit. I don't know if that's confirmed or not, but that would be pretty badass. I do think he's probably in this movie, but I am kind of curious. But then you also get to see LexCorp and his soldiers along with like the engineer in here. You even get to see the shot of how it was filmed for having his big monstrosity of a guy that follows him around in the all black suit, like punching through some of the walls and stuff. I thought that was a really great sort of quick clip that we wind up getting in here too. So yeah, LexCorp is coming together well. Nicholas Holt looks fantastic in his suits for Lex Luthor. I wasn't quite sure about like the casting when it was originally announced, but the more and more that I see him of the bald head and the business attire and stuff, and he's already a really great actor. I cannot wait to see how the chemistry works out with all of these characters in this particular movie. But yeah, man, first impressions, it continues to win me over. If anything, I would expect maybe we get a trailer next month. But who knows at this point? I really have no idea what their marketing strategy is. But I think this alone is certainly going to be more than um, capable of holding the fans over at least until the next month as well. So the countdown has begun. What are we like 2 months away? May, June, July, maybe 3 months at this point. So it'll be here certainly before we know it. But I love the behind the scenes. And I will just say this real quick. When I watch this trailer or when I watch this behind the scenes, there is that feeling of like taking me back to my childhood a little bit, right? Like I'm 42. I missed the Christopher Reeves movies in theaters, but I watched them as a kid and I appreciated them for what they were as movies. His Boy Scout, the truth, justice, and the American way, the hope and innocence that he wind up bringing to that role. I appreciate it, but I never saw it on the big screen. And then I wind up getting, I think my first Superman I saw was Superman Returns as, Brandon Routh. And I loved him as Superman, but I always saw that movie as a copy and paste of Christopher Reeves. It never connected with me the way that I wanted to, even though I thought it was an enjoyable film in certain areas. Henry Cavill for me for a long time was my Superman. I really enjoyed Man of Steel. I think it's a very underrated comic book movie, and I appreciated Zack Snyder's vision of taking this character, doing something fresh and creatively different for the time period that it was certainly in. But now that we get to James Gunn's Superman here, it is very much like feeling the Christopher Reeves vibes all over again, but taken to a new level, right? Introducing clearly more of that hope, injecting some of that James Gunn humor along with the heart that he tends to put in his movies, and then bumping it up a notch with a level of sci-fi and an involvement of the heroes and a world that's already established that we haven't really seen before. And now that I see these bright, just vibrant colors again, and the themes that they're trying to kind of bring out, even though I'm 42 years old, man, if it makes me feel like a kid again. You know the moniker of the original Superman movie where it was like, "You'll believe a man can fly." I believe that Look Up is very much in that same sort of, you know, area in regards to kind of saying the same thing, if you will. So when I think about that, it makes me think like I'm experiencing Superman for the very first time in the movie theaters. And there's just something really cool about that that just makes me kind of giddy like a school kid and really eager to kind of see what this movie is going to be on the big screen because I feel like my imagination is just completely going to soar and take over whenever I get the opportunity to see this film. So I'm excited for it. I want to know what's your levels of excitement for this after watching behind the scenes. I need to know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section box below. But until next time, guys, do me a big favor as always. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A plus. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.